I'm the applications guy with the company that's manufacturing the Ultimate Reamer. I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about the Ultimate Reamer, why it is what it claims to be, the Ultimate Reamer for reaming grips, and also a little bit about how to take care of it. But first I'd like to talk about the technology behind the Ultimate Reamer. It works the way it does because it has a completely different type of cutting surface than a normal reamer. It's not a conventional abrasive, it's a layer of little conical, very hard tungsten carbide teeth that are wrapped on the reamer in a strip form, mechanically wrapped on, and then brazed on with a nickel chrome brazing alloy in a vacuum furnace. Makes a very, very long-wearing surface, but also a very aggressive surface that will cut material very well without loading up or filling up. To understand how the Ultimate Reamer works, it helps a little bit to take a look at the construction of the coating, the little teeth on the Ultimate Reamer. These little schematics here represent a conventional abrasive grit, like you'd have on a sandpaper wrapped reamer. Bottom schematic represents the little conical carbide teeth on the Ultimate Reamer. Now with a conventional abrasive material, you're cutting with shard-like particles, rather irregular particles. None of them are exactly the same shape, and there'll be a little bit of size variation. And when you're cutting with a conventional abrasive, you're hoping you have enough edges sticking up high enough to move in the direction of travel, as you're moving in the direction of travel, to cut and remove material well. But you have a lot of edges that are maybe pointing the wrong way, or a lot of surfaces that are just rubbing. So a conventional abrasive works quite well on harder materials like very hard hardwood or steel or other metals. But when you get into a softer material like cork or foam or rubber or these sorts of materials, the conventional abrasive has a tendency to load up with material, get packed between the grits, so it starts to smear. And in many cases, you don't ever get a chance to really wear it out. Either you fill in the grits or they physically fall off the surface. On the other hand, with the Ultimate Reamer, we have these little conical teeth of tungsten carbide. Each tooth is actually made of numerous small tungsten carbide particles that are all brazed together into this shape. They're produced with tooling, so we can make the tooth in whatever angle and size and spacing between teeth we want. But they're very, very free cutting. You have these sharp points, so as you push them into the workpiece material, they can cut very cleanly. There's plenty of room for the cuttings to go out between the teeth. Also with the Ultimate Reamer, there's a spiral wrap to it, so there's space between the wraps to eject cuttings as well, so they won't load up. And that is the enemy of, again, of any type of abrasive situation. If you're filling the abrasive up and the cuttings can't get out of there, especially if that's the case in something like a grip where you're trapped in a hole and you have to get those cuttings out somehow instead of just smearing them into the surface of the tool. So with the Ultimate Reamer, we have these conical teeth of tungsten carbide that are very, very hard and very, very sharp, and you can cut that grip material, right out of there without any loading or filling up. Now, the Ultimate Reamer has one weakness, and that is it's designed for use on grip materials. It's not designed for use on steel, concrete, glass, or any very hard material. So you have to be careful with it. It's guaranteed for a lifetime of use in proper service, but it's not any good for filing on steel, cast iron, anything like that. And it also doesn't take kindly to really heavy impact. Because these teeth are so very hard and so very sharp, they're also very brittle. So any impact will break them off. And we'll show you a little close-up here of what the teeth look like. The close-up you'll see is some teeth that we actually beat on with a steel object to break them. And you'll be able to see when you look at the surface that some of the teeth have been broken right off close to their bases or snapped off a little higher. So you don't want to break these teeth. They'll last a very, very long time if they're used for what they're intended for. So as you can see in that little clip, the teeth do not take kindly to a really hard impact. So make sure to take care of the tool and it'll last you a very, very long time. Now these teeth typically don't fill up with material, as I said. If you manage to get them filled up with material, maybe somebody drops glue or wax or some kind of other foreign matter on the surface, it can be removed pretty easily either with a solvent and a brush, or you can even take a propane torch and burn the teeth clean. The heat will not hurt them, and after you burn the surface out, you can brush it out. But if you take good care of the Ultimate Reamer, Should last you a very long time, and it should speed up the process of reaming grips very much from what you're accustomed to.